Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony. Two thieves stole $6,000 worth of cigarettes and vape products from a gas station in Memphis.
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and like I said, first we hit the Louvre, then we do something small. You got to mix it up, got to keep them guessing.
That would be real small and real out of the way. From Paris to Memphis.
Yeah.
Not Memphis, France.
Right. Is there a Memphis, France?
Memphis. Elvis, Memphis.
Right, but there's not a Memphis, France, is there?
There probably is.
Really? I don't know
Let's
about
get
that.
research.
I don't know.
There's got to be a Memphis.
Welcome
France.
to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, new college football playoff rankings drop. Matt LaFleur faces contract uncertainty, and Steve Young joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with revisions to the NBA All-Star Game, which you are always screaming about, Wilbon.
Please.
There will be 3 teams, 2 composed of American players and 1 composed of foreign players. They will be determined by fan vote, media vote, player vote, and coach vote. The All-Stars will be picked regardless of position, and the 3 teams will then play a round-robin tournament with each playing 2 quarters, and then a 12-minute final quarter between the 2 winners. So, Wilbon, does it feel like the NBA has finally gotten the All-Star format right?
Hell no. It's weak and it's scared. And you would think a league that has been innovative over years would have the stones to simply say, we're putting a U.S. team out there, we're putting an international team out there, put something compelling on the court to make up for the garbage they've trotted out for the last 5 to 10 years. But no, and I don't know if this is just the commissioner's office. I don't know if they're scared of the American players. But let me just ask you something real quick. It's rhetorical.
Well, then
Who are the 5 players on the first team All-NBA right now?
They are probably, if not all, the vast majority are born in countries outside the United States.
Luka, Joker, SGA, Giannis, Wemby. Those are your 5. And beyond that, if anybody thinks you can't get to 12 international All-Stars, that's a lie, because you can get Şengün. You've got Franz Wagner now. Jamal Murray should have been an All-Star. You got Lauri Markkanen. You've got Avdija in Portland. Nobody's paying attention, but he's playing at All-Star level. Right. And they trot this out there where you can't even figure out who's playing when for whom because they're too scared to put international versus U.S. Why? Because they're scared the U.S. won't win? Is that it?
So this is interesting to me. I don't have your passion for this, but my sense of this is that, to use one of your phrases, this is hocus pocus junk.
It is.
Because, first of all, how are you going to separate the 2 American teams? You're going to do it by age, like a young American team, an old American team? So you have been passionate about this, USA versus the world, for a long time. I was resistant to it for a variety of reasons. It felt artificial to me and maybe xenophobic to me. But now that I see that the majority of the great players right up near the top are born in foreign countries, and the United States would actually be the underdog, now I want to see it. But I don't want to see it for 12 minutes.
No,
I want to see it for
the whole game,
48 minutes. Yeah. And I don't care who's voted on the team. I believe that the commissioner's office could say, we're taking 10 Americans, 10 from foreign countries, just 10, and we're playing 48 hard minutes. And I don't know if the players would want to do it, but I
don't think they do.
Oh, so
I think that's why I said they're scared of the players. I think there are enough players who say, wait a minute, we don't need to have our juices flowing competitively. And by the way, I understand that objection.
It seems like the hockey players did want it.
They do. They do it. And this, by the way, would be staged during the Winter Olympics, after a hockey game or before a hockey game. Yeah. Let's move to the new college football playoff rankings, please. Get me out of my angry mood.
You're always in an angry mood.
Not more than this. The top 5 remain unchanged. Big 10 teams, Ohio State and Indiana, are at 1 and 2. With SEC teams, Texas, A&M, Alabama, and Georgia going 3, 4, 5 in all. The SEC has 6 teams in the top 12. The Big 10 has 3. You love these weekly rankings, Tony.
I do. Love the show.
So do you have beef with this week's edition?
Okay, so no, I don't. As you said, the top 5 are exactly the same. Here's what would have bothered me. It would have bothered me if they bumped Indiana down behind Texas A&M. Not because I think Indiana is better than Texas A&M, because I don't necessarily think that. Because I felt that the way Indiana came back against Penn State needed to be acknowledged. That drive at the end of the game and that fabulous catch you shouldn't penalize them for that just because Penn State had fired a coach and lost 5 in a row. To me, that was, Penn State deserved attention on that game. So I was glad to see that. And the other things that happened in the top 10, I'm okay with Texas Tech going ahead of Ole Miss at number 6.
Oh, yeah.
Texas Tech beat a team that was undefeated, ranked ahead of them in the top 10, and Ole Miss beat the Citadel. Now, we can't really take it seriously if you beat the Citadel, but to a larger point, they're both well inside the top 10, so they're aimed at the playoffs anyway.
There was no news from yesterday's announcement of the CFP rankings, none whatsoever. But I'm going to just make sure you get the full credit, because in live time, I said to you during that game, before the catch, I said, if Penn State wins this game, Indiana comes down. And if Indiana wins this game narrowly, and they did.
Yes, they did.
I would bump Texas A&M ahead of Indiana. No. So the committee did. That's not news. That was the toughest decision they had to make. Well, it was the only tough decision. I will tell you that I am gratified that they continued to have complete disrespect for the ACC, because I thought they might cave in. Because there was a lot of noise. Virginia lost, Louisville lost.
I understand. And so Miami is the highest-ranked team in the ACC at 15. But they're not even a lock by any means to play in the ACC championship.
No, they're not. Not
so
yet.
To me, it's interesting. I know you don't like it as much as I do, but I like it. Let's move to the NFL. We've got a few football questions for our great friend, the man who had real problems with his dropbacks as a freshman at BYU before I taught him how to backpedal correctly, Hall of Famer Steve Young. We'll start with this. We'll start with Sam Darnold of the Seahawks. He has been the best quarterback in the league this season against the blitz. What are a quarterback's keys to succeeding against the blitz?
So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but it's owning the data, right? It's doing the study during the week to get the intricacies of the blitz that you're going to face that week. I remember I played with the great Darren Woodson of the Dallas Cowboys, and I studied them as much as I possibly could. And I got to a point where I could sense if Darren was looking at me, he wasn't blitzing. But if he was looking off into the stands or looking somewhere else, I knew he was coming. And so it's that kind of rigor to preparation for blitz is how you face the blitz. And then you need receivers like JSN that he's got that can get open, not 15 yards down the field, but now. Blitz is about now. And so I have a plan. I know what they're doing with blitz-wise. I'm ready to get rid of it. And now I need a receiver who can get open now. And then more than anything, everyone else needs to be at the top of their game, right? It's like we understand the blitz. We can pick it up. You're not going to get hit from the back of the head by somebody that we forgot about. So it's like football. It's everything. But the quarterback, number one, can take care of it by doing the studying.
I want to ask you about a hot quarterback right now. I mean, Darnold is going to face, Matthew Stafford, of course, who's thrown 20 touchdown passes since he's thrown a pick, last done in week 3. You've been on hot streaks in your life. Do you feel you just own the moment, or are there other elements? Do you ever feel there's good fortune or luck involved in that point?
I wish luck could be a part of it. Look, when you're in the top of your game, and especially in football, because you need so much help, everyone has to be on the same page, like in a metaphor. So in many ways, like to be at the top of your game, you have your receiver that's on the top of their game, and it's not bouncing off of their hands. There's linemen that are at the top of their game, so they're not putting their hand up and blocking it, tipping up and intercepting. You get on a streak, everyone, including you, are now playing incredibly efficient football, because to deal with all the crazy mitigation in every play in football and still have success, not have anything go wrong or haywire, that's a miracle of preparation. That's not a miracle of luck. That's not like spinning the wheel red and blue in the roulette wheel and red and black and going, well, hopefully nothing goes wrong. I mean, that's just not going to happen. You're not going to get a streak in luck. Never.
Happy trails to Russell Wilson, starting for the Giants on Sunday.
Man.
Giants interim head coach, your boy, Mike Kafka, announced today that the team will start Jameis Winston against the Packers in place of the concussed Jaxson Dart. Wilson had relieved Dart after the rookie exited the game in the fourth quarter of last week's loss to your Bears. But now it's clear that Wilson has been demoted to third string after beginning the season as a starter. Winston is capable of putting up monster numbers. He threw for 497 yards for the Browns against the Broncos just last year. But he also has the worst career pass interception percentage among active quarterbacks.
I'm so interested in this game because the Cheeseheads play in the Meadowlands.
Right.
And I want them to lose.
They're not going to lose.
Again.
They're not going to lose.
Jameis Winston could put up some big numbers.
He could also have 5
Northwestern's
interceptions.
own
But
is making his head
this
coaching
is the
debut.
end of Russell Wilson. This is the end.
Let Russ cook. You don't think you're gonna see
he
that
had
in another
was
city?
great in Seattle. The last 3 years, it's bad. It's over. One correction. There is unfortunately no city named Memphis in France.
What?
But there used to be a nightclub in Paris named Le Memphis. Did you go there?
that.
Let's go to the big finish.
Let's do
Clippers
it.
guard Bradley Beal, your boy.
Yeah.
Out for the season after hip surgery. Your thoughts?
I root for Bradley Beal. He hasn't played, though, in a meaningful game in like 9 seasons. It's like just since 2017.
Unbelievable contract. You know how he's getting paid this year?
I want to see him come back. Have a
Played
great
6
last
games.
burst when he comes back. Pat Murphy of the Brewers, Stephen Vogt of the Guardians, baseball's managers of the year. You okay with that?
I am, but it's the second year in a row for both of them. Is it possible they reached into the wrong pile?
Glitz?
Yeah, the wrong pile.
Maybe.
I don't know. Nathan McKinnon of the Avalanche had 3 points in a win over the Ducks to give him 12 points in his last 3 games. Wow, you impressed?
How many days in a row are we going to have McKinnon updates? That should be reserved, right? And not even for Sidney Crosby, like for Gretzky. North Carolina coach Bill Belichick was asked about his interest in the Giants job and said he's focused on Wake Forest, on to Wake.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
It sounds like him,
It does.
on to Cincinnati.
Finally.
He should. Just
Sounds like
worry about the team.
You're not going to the job.
Last one, the 11-1 Thunder host the Lakers tonight. You're intrigued, aren't you?
The Lakers have been terrific so far, but until LeBron gets back, I'm not interested in watching.
You're not interested in
until LeBron.
You don't
Luka's
like-
been great.
Well,
All right?
you got
He has
TV.
been.
You got 3 TVs. We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. Go Bearcats against Georgetown tonight. Go
Not beating
Binghamton.
OKC. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. And now here's tip-off.